This meeting is being recorded.
Test, test, testing, testing. Can you hear me? Testing, testing. Can anyone hear me? Linda, can you hear me? Linda. Hello. Hello. Can anyone hear me? Hello. 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 Can anyone hear me? Hello. Test, test. Can you hear me, Linda?
Sean, can you hear us? What am I doing wrong?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you.
Awesome, I just wanted to make sure we could hear you too. Councilman Rao would like to know if you would sing the national anthem. He's not
That would be a
answering.
no thanks. I just barely got out of Deadwood alive. Greetings from Rapid City, South Dakota.
He's in Rapid City, South Dakota.
Okay, I'm going to call this meeting to order. Would you join me for the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
One under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Make it a roll call.
Yes. Councilman Rao?
Present.
Councilman Hunter? Here. Mayor Rao?
Here.
Councilman Lavreri?
Here.
Councilman Fitzsimons?
Here.
Okay. We have a little couple change here. Item 4, Section C will be removed from the agenda tonight. Okay. Are we in compliance with the open meeting law?
Yes, we are.
Public comment. Do we have any public comment? Anything online?
That's what I'm looking.
Hearing no public comment, we'll move on to the consent agenda. Approve or deny?
Consent agenda.
I'll second that motion.
You have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion
Aye.
carries.
What-
He said aye. He was just a little bit late.
One thing, is one of them minutes not available?
Oh, yes, one of those minutes is not available, the 24th.
Okay, but it's listed okay on here.
Yep.
Okay. No change then.
Oh, wait, actually, the minutes on here is 7/8, so that's not here.
Okay. That's what I thought.
Yeah,
So on that motion, with the exception of
with the exception.
the minutes of 7/8.
Items for discussion, possible action. Approve or deny Lynn Wood's request for assistance on her water bill due to a water leak.
I will speak on that a little bit, and I'll have to abstain from voting on this matter. But Grant Perkins, I guess, notified Linwood that she had an excessive water leak. Her water meter was just continually running. And I had previously put that system in, and so I went over and looked and found that there was one of the water lines during construction, and those things had been damaged in the sprinkler system for the water supply line, and so it was repaired in there, but she obviously didn't catch it because they've been doing construction, and so she was high on her water usage during that time. And so she's just asking for assistance to get that water bill removed down to the average. And
They ought to bill a contractor that done the plumbing work.
What do we normally do on,
Well,
Excessive water
normally,
leaks?
it's been a couple of different ways, actually, because I believe for Spencer Gray that you guys paid a lot of his over and above because he hadn't been made aware of it. He was out of town. All right, but usually I believe it's half, isn't it?
Half of the late, half of the overage.
Overage, yeah,
Overage. That's what we've done just recently.
yeah,
Follow the same procedure then.
okay.
I think it was half of like whatever the overage.
we have a motion in effect?
I gotta read that real quick. Can't see. Oh, yeah, I'll make a motion, to approve Linwood's request for assistance on her water bill due to the leak with the same standard we've recently done, half the overage.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to assist Linwood with her water bill, same as we've done in the past with paying half of the overage. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. I want to note that
One abstention.
Councilman Hunter did not vote on this one.
Oh, yep.
Okay. Okay. Approve or deny County Senior Center request for $964 for their liability insurance.
The city has paid that in the past. In fact, the city is somewhat responsible for that building, being as it was the city's grant, community development block grant that got the building in the first place. So I'd make a motion that we pay this amount of $964 for their insurance.
I got a comment real fast, Tom.
Well, there's a motion on the floor. We gotta wait till we second it or it dies for lack of second at this point. And then we can discuss.
All right.
I'll second that.
Okay, so now you can go ahead and discuss.
I wasn't anything, real pressing. Didn't we recently do this like last year too?
Last year, we've been doing it each year.
Okay,
Yeah, each year we've done it.
that's all I have.
Okay, is there a motion in the second to honor the request of the senior center to pay the $964 for their liability insurance? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carries. Approve and deny adoption of the federal rate for per diem.
I got a question on this. Who put this on the agenda and why?
Well, because,
Our per diem rate on the form we have, it's in under, rural Nevada, everywhere but Clark County and Washoe County. And our policy says that we will follow state and federal guidelines. And so I just had somebody in Vegas for 2 weeks needing per diem, and me and Linda talked about it. She wasn't comfortable moving up to the GSA guidelines off of what you have on the form, so she said we needed to bring it to council. So we just need to get that understood or taken care of somehow.
And for my 2 cents, I think it's, because I think how it is right now is it's in the personnel policy of a fixed rate, if I remember right. There's a
No,
table.
that's just on the form we use, is
Oh,
the
okay,
fixed rate.
okay, on the form.
Yeah,
I think
I
it's,
have the policy here. I apologize, I didn't have time to get all the copies or the printouts I wanted because.
right.
playing
I think it's
mud.
just easier then to just link it to like a GSA. That way, every time like it goes up or there's inflation, then we don't have to come back and redo it every time. We can just link it to the GSA. That way it changes every time.
I still think we're a state affiliated organization. We ought to go under state regulation.
Well,
that's what it is.
Okay.
well, yeah, I
Not the-
did research
Not the General
that.
Service Administration.
Well, the General Service Administration uses, or the state uses the GSA rates. That's what they do.
I did research that. In fact, that's in your packet. They do that for in-state and out-of-state. If you can see, it says breakfast, refer to GSA rate table and hours, conditions below. Lunch, all of it, it all relays to the GSA. And out-of-state travel would be the same. I just thought I'd throw that in there to, yes,
And we're following the state policy directly.
yes. Well, because that's what ours says, is we follow state policy, so I thought it would be good to show you what the state policy
It says
was.
state and federal guidelines in our policy.
But I would like to point something out, that mileage is always, that's the IRS that does that. And believe it or not, they have cut it 2 cents. That's also in here. I'll show you.
I think, like I travel a lot for work for the state. We follow, like you said, the GSA rate, but, I think you just got, the one thing with that is you just gotta watch, I guess, ensuring
Thought I
that
had it
you're,
in here.
for the employees, like the tax ID, and, cause I run into that a lot where and sometimes it just is what it is, resort fees and whatnot, and they end up covering that. But most places, if you give them the tax ID and,
You mean for the hotel room?
yeah, like hotel rooms and whatnot, but like we go like, I don't know, it actually goes where you lay your head at night too, so that's how the state does it. Cause, right, if you go to Vegas, it's definitely higher than.
Yeah.
And I've even went back at times and tried to do the right thing and they, oh, this is where you slept, so this is that rate. I think it should be GSA rate.
I make a motion that we approve the, adopting the federal GSA rate for per diem.
I'll second the motion to adopt the GSA rate for per diem.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the federal rate for per diem. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
So with this said, we are working on new policy. We will actually put follow GSA guidelines in the new policy rather than anything that says state or federal. That way people know where to go to find it and how to follow it.
Okay, item 5, update concerning ongoing grants administration.
Well, we have received our letter telling us to proceed with our Phase 3 grant funding and stuff. Where I think I've got two more, well, one's a reimbursement and one I'm going to ask them for the money. I can't think of the word right now. But that should be getting us closer to using up that money that we have in Phase 1. As soon as we get that money gone, then we don't have to worry about Phase 1 for a while. Then we go to Phase 2, then to Phase 3. Talking with Carmen, still working on getting the entire documents finished. She appreciated that you guys approved the 90% documents. And we'll work from there. Everything seems to be still on that same timetable.
Okay, any questions?
Yeah, I got a couple of concerns in regards to ongoing grants.
Mhm.
We've got a grant coming up that they're putting out for bid in this fall. I think probably in November or possibly sooner. That would be the new trail down to Kershaw.
Mm.
But the maintenance of these trails, these people that authorize these grants are checking out the other grants that we have for these trails around. We got bicycle trails, we got the walking path. I just wondered, is that completely well-maintained now, the walking path?
The walking path is a lot better than it has been in the past. The bike trails,
No, the walking path, is it got weeded and the stumbles taken out of it and the plants growing, or are they still dead, or?
no, my guys have been around and got all the water systems taken care of and working. They have been weeded. There have been some trees that have died in there that have been taken out. But if you look on the highway here, we've had some of those trees die and they get watered regular with the grass. So I don't know what the reasoning behind that is.
So if someone walked down that trail, like the highway department, they would know that it's
Being
recently maintained then.
Yes. The bike trails, on the other hand, are a different story.
Sure, after a storm like today.
Even before that, yeah. And so is that path all within the city limits and it would be turned over to us?
I'm not sure. It's apparently in the city limits, but I think the highway's gonna maintain it, I believe. I think they may.
There'll be stuff along that's come down this back road that we may have to keep the brush away from the edge of it.
Yeah.
Which is not a big deal, but that stuff we'll have to do that within the city.
Okay.
I got a phone number that I'm gonna send the grant of the urban forester in Las Vegas, and it was a person that we've worked with. She a lot of history working up here for NDF. She promoted to a new job, which is kind of over tree planting in the cities and everything. So I'll send her your number here in a second.
Okay.
I'll reach out to her and give her your number too, and then maybe she could probably do something to replace some trees, I bet you. I know Maggie Orr's talked to her and different things, but she's new to that job, so I'll get her, swap the numbers between you and her, and maybe.
Sounds good, thank you.
I have a deal too. Had some people ask or suggest that we go to the youth center and ask to get they have a work crew that goes out and works with the park system, to maybe get them to come here, I don't know, maybe once a week or once a month to help maintain that walking path too.
So I did talk to somebody about that, and I'm trying to remember who it was.
We put you with Jack Martindale, myself, and then Bruce got involved, and they kind
Bruce,
of.
yes. And I don't believe they want them working in an urban area in the city limits. They want them in the state parks where they're not around anything, is what I was told.
Yeah, they're trying to keep them out of the public eye. There's child protective laws for protection reasons that in the public eye, they weren't comfortable with that. Yeah.
So our public ban has been lifted too from where I'm at. So I'll get with you on that too. And that just recently happened.
Okay.
So, 'cause we haven't been allowed to work in the public for quite a while.
Over a year, yeah.
But they did, that's been gone away, so we'll talk with you after the meeting about it.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Personnel reports, city clerk.
Okay, so all the quarterly reports are completed and in. I am working with the Department of Taxation and Kelly Gramman on delinquent QEC reports that we've had. She's been very helpful. I'm able to call. She's gonna walk me through those reports. I did find some discrepancies. That's, I'm calling Cassell about that because I'm unsure about some of the figures. So I would like, because it was a big difference between years. So I want to ask them about that. We did receive $722,792.57 from the state for the American Rescue Plan monies that is in our account right now. I'm reaching out to the fellow from the Treasury Department that had written us asking about wanting to give us a presentation, so I still haven't done that yet. I've been trying to get the agenda together and stuff, but I plan on doing that this coming week.
Okay, what this QEC, what does QEC stand for?
It's the quarterly economic survey is what it is. And so the issue that I'm having is we have a report in Cassell that will bring up the numbers that we need to fill out this report. The last one that was filled out said we had 5 million in our general fund or something like that. Well, the one I just looked at said $80,000. So I'm thinking there's an issue. And I would like to talk with them to see why that's like that. That doesn't make sense.
Okay. Any questions?
No, I'd just like to thank her for the work she's doing. Got all this dropped on her, and she's doing a good job trying to keep up.
Thank you.
Public Works Manager's report.
Okay, the last 2 weeks, we've pulled water samples, and next month, when you see the bill for that, it'll be pretty astronomical, but it was a big set of samples. We had to do lead and copper from 10 different sites in town, and our VOCs and several other things from our well. Also pulled sewer samples at the same time. At the sewer plant, we've had some problems with our screen, and we've done the troubleshooting, have the parts on order, but in the meantime, my guys get to clean the screen daily at the sewer plant rather than have a machine do it, so just add some fun to the job. The Power District has been here, and they've installed a new electrical service for Jim Grant at number 911 Lane. We did the water and sewer service 4 or 5 months ago for that one. So they've been here and done that. We've had a couple power outages before today that they've come down and helped us with when we've had storms and problems with them. In the parks, my guys are keeping up with the mowing and fixing sprinklers. They've also been working on the walking path trail like you were talking about. Doing the weeding and the irrigation system on that. Also in the park here a while back, we had somebody trip and fall at Dixon Park from a piece of concrete that was heaved. We've broke all that out and removed it, and I've got somebody giving us a bid to replace that, but not in the same area. We're going to move the ADA access ramp and just plant grass back in where that sidewalk was because of the tree that it's right next to will have the problem again in the future. So we're just gonna move that ADA access ramp. The pool, after we got the pumps replaced, things have been running fairly smoothly there, except getting shut down for lightning on the last couple of days in a row. The garbage truck, we've had some air leaks on it. As we were changing one of the brake chambers today, we realized the one next to it is also leaking, but in the different position. They have brakes off, one is leaking. When you press the brakes, the other one is leaking. So we've ordered another chamber for it. Bladed the weeds out here at the rodeo grounds and behind Rowan. We've been spraying weeds around town all over the place as we can keep in weed spray, and the weather is cooperating with us when we do it. Guys have been down at the pit making some type 2 material to have on hand as we get ready to fix shoulders and do some things like that. Today, we've dealt with the flooding on Denton and Spring Streets. We'll end up having to clean out the catch basin at the top of Spring Street. And tomorrow, we'll be hauling a lot of rock and dirt off from Denton and down here in front of all the stores as well. We had somebody headed into the grocery store and slip, but not fall, but slip, and the grocery store got real worried, called us, and we took the water truck down there. And there was about 2 inches of mud in the bottom of that gutter that we cleaned out and moved down. But that will be an all-day process tomorrow, I think, cleaning up from what happened today. That's my report. If anybody has any questions.
Oh, I do got one question, Grant.
Okay.
When you guys finished the power out there, or if it was done already at Love Lane, are they gonna, that big dip like in the lanes, that'll all be fixed?
We are going to go fix that. I will be getting cold mix next week. And as we start patching potholes and stuff, we're gonna take care of all of that. The other thing I should mention, I forgot, is the power outage today. The final thing they found was the pad mount transformer at Dixon Park next to the Mo shop got taken out by a lightning strike. So that's going to have to be replaced. The power district is looking to see if they have one that will work. We don't. We have some extras there, but they are for, I believe, the school, the church, and the hospital size. I'm not sure, but we don't have one that will fit there. And the issue we have is that one controls the sprinkler clock and things like that. So if we can't find one soon, we will be running the sprinkler clocks by hand daily. So, or the valves individually by hand for a while. So we'll see what comes down. We're hoping the power district can find something for us in their stockpile.
You can pray for rain.
I'm all for that.
Okay, any questions for Grant? Okay, discussion of legal issues.
I've got nothing to report right now.
I got a question. As of last week, Jim Bourne was waiting for a land contract from,
I spoke with Amanda last week while the mayor was in City Hall. It sounds like he's talked to an escrow company, so it sounds like he's received it. So I think he's got it now. I actually need to get with Grant after the meeting to talk about the parcel map and the timeline on that. So it sounds like he does have it. I talked to him about 2 or 3 o'clock this afternoon.
so everything's okay then?
Yep, we
Okay.
just need to get a timeline for the parcel map.
Okay. The reason I ask that is they're trying to get a groundbreaking time set up so that the Lincoln County Regional Development can take some pictures and be there when they break the ground.
Sounds good. Yeah, I'll keep in contact with him, make sure he has everything he needs.
Okay, and you'll take care of that other incident that I talked to you about earlier with Linda?
Yes.
The letter?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any questions? Okay, building inspector's report, Mr. Dixon.
I don't have a whole lot. The planning commission didn't have a meeting. We were scheduled to go over the weed issue. All the PC members are working on lists, places that need weeds removed and what have you. We'll go over that in our next meeting and have some recommendations that we can bring up to the council on what we recommend to be done. The parcel map that we talked about from Jim Bourne, I delivered that to him day before yesterday. It's all signed. He's gonna take it up and get it recorded. So we're still waiting for plans from him for the building itself. He has a very optimistic attitude about getting that done. So we'll do everything we can to help him, but we still want to make sure that it's done the way it should be. The apartments, I've had a couple of conversations with Sunrise and Stuart Boyd with the owner's rep on that. It looks like they've finally got all their stuff together and submitted to FEMA. Hopefully we'll have an answer on that in about 2 weeks. And the only other thing I've got is late, in fact, just before I came down here, that's one of the reasons I was so late getting here, is I got a report from the power district about the lightning strikes and everything that we've had around town the last month. There was a major outages. There was 4 of them around the county. City was involved in a couple of those. And Dave just wants to impress on everybody that these are the first ones that major power outages we've had in about 2 years. I'll just read the last part of this message that he sent me. He says the board, I'm on the board, by the way, should be aware the employees of Lincoln County are professionals. They respond to these events as quickly as possible, as safely as possible, and with competence that comes from training. Second, people do like to complain. We all know how that goes, and we hear those complaints. The reality is that these were the first major power outages we've had in well over a year. They were caused by events beyond anybody's control, but the duration of these outages were kept to a minimum by the power district staff with assistance from the county's or the city staff. And that's all I've got unless somebody's got some questions.
I see that they've started framing at the motel until the rain hit today. They got part of it up.
Yeah, they're all, the slab was poured, they're already framing walls, so.
Any questions?
I do got a question for Ken. Business in town, Tops Tires. A resident next to him is getting concerned on just everything building up there. And they use a porta potty there. They don't have restroom facilities or bathroom facilities. And the porta potty's like closest to this person's house. So they're cleaning it, and swamp cooler running and I just know said person, I don't know if there's anything you could do to maybe speak with them, but if not, they're gonna be
Well,
sending a
there are
complaint.
some things we can do, and
Yeah.
I had a conversation with him the first part of the week about
Okay.
that very thing, the porta potty. The tires are piling up again.
Yeah.
And I told him, unless he does something about it, that he's gonna get a violation notice. And he was agreeable
Yeah.
that he'll get something done on it.
I mean, yeah, I just had received a phone call about it and I noticed that the porta potty's been out there forever, but yeah. All right. Maybe they'll take care of
I
it.
appreciate your input, believe me.
Yeah, okay.
Any questions? More questions? Okay, we'll move on. Discussions of issues related to public safety. Fire chief.
We had some work done last week on all 3 of the fire trucks. So there'll be a bill coming for that. We got some pump work that's gotta be done on one of them. And that's gonna be $6 grand or so on that, so. Just a heads up on that.
That's some of the things, I mean, sometimes we get people come in and grumble that we got money being taken out covered for the fire department, but every time somebody comes and looks at one of them trucks, we got a problem, it costs a bunch of money to fix it. So that money's being well used.
I do have one more comment about the fire department. As all of you should know, if you don't, that they're having that blood drive over there, had it today, and it was well thought out, it was well done, there was a big turnout for it. It was really a great deal.
Okay, any questions for the chief? Okay. Discussions of council members' responsibilities, parks beautification. Mr. Fitzsimons, do you have anything?
Hope I'm not too loud. Nothing much to report. Ordered new flags last week. Thanks to Grant and his city crew for allowing the ladies to plant those flowers by the city shop. Our next meeting will be August 17th. And that's all I got.
Any questions for Sean?
Have a good trip, Sean.
Okay, we'll move on. Community development and planning. Councilman Rao.
Yes, they canceled our planning commission meeting for yesterday, and I don't have anything else to report.
Any questions? Okay, tourism and boxcar museum. Mr. Laverie.
Nothing really too big to report. The Boxcar Museum, when it's open, they keep getting a lot of visitors and people stopping by the city hall to visit it. What did I wrote down? And then I was gonna try to speak with Susan sometime this week and some of the other board members from Room Tax to follow up on when they want to have a meeting about that funding from the county with the commercial.
Okay.
In regards to that commercial, because I haven't heard nothing else about it since the last meeting, so hopefully before the next meeting, we can see where we're at with that.
Any questions for Mr. Laverie? Okay, public utilities. Mr. Hunter.
I think we've discussed all that needs to be discussed, so nothing else to report.
Okay, we got, lost our city clerk, as you know. We've got gals filling in. They're doing a good job doing that stuff. We got, did some interviews and things didn't turn out good on that end. We're doing some other things, working on things to get a new clerk put in here. So hopefully we'll find some things, get some things going here in before the next meeting so that we can get things done right. I know we talked about the power company being down here and doing this stuff. I mean, the power's been out over in my place a couple of times, and it seems like after it's out of a few minutes, I text Grant to see what's going on, if they've heard anything, and by that time, the county's usually here. I was impressed on how fast they're here at any time we have any problems, so I can't grumble at that at all.
But just so everybody will understand that when the power does go out with those AMI meters, the power district knows about it just like that.
Oh, wow.
And it really has made a difference in their response time.
Yep. Okay, anybody got any questions for me? Okay, public comment. Do we have any public comment? Yes, sir.
Yes, my name is Tony Antonião. I have a couple of things. The first one, the website. I was trying to see the agenda today. It doesn't appear on the website. You have some links that goes to 404, which means you cannot connect it. You cannot get the minutes from the previous meetings. It's a disaster. If I am coming to this city and I look at the website, I will pass by and go to Elko or go to Las Vegas. The second issue is regarding to the beautification. Beautiful, nice Highway 93. But if you go starting walking on the streets, the sidewalks, seems that they lack repair for years. People could be falling there, could be an accident, and the city will be liable for that. And is there any program to repair those sidewalks?
I don't know if we have a set program or not for doing that stuff, but
The biggest issue we have is our streets budget to repair those sidewalks. That's where it falls under. We don't have excess money in the streets budget, yeah.
we've got some plans in the near future.
Yeah, that is what you said with the employment, and I see that we are still stuck.
Yeah. Any other public comment? Mr. Culverwell?
Yes, I was just interested in how come at the end of last meeting, I was here with Amanda and asked to be on the agenda on the transfer of properties that the city dumped property that I'm buying there, but I get on the agenda.
I'm still working on a resolution to find, we have to get there's a process. We have to pass a resolution approving appraisers, and then we have to get 2 appraisals, and then we have to go out to competitive bidding.
No, you're talking about the railroads.
I'm talking about any property owned by
Oh,
the city,
yeah, I'm
real
not
property.
trying to buy it. I want to buy the railroads too, but I'm talking about at the transfer station. I'm buying a piece of property from them, and the
Oh.
transfer station juts out into the property I'm buying.
Okay.
Plus, the property I'm buying crosses over in front of the transfer station, so everybody's crossing across my property to get to the transfer station. So I want to make a trade between those two. I asked to be on the agenda for this week's meeting, and it didn't happen.
I don't remember that discussion.
I wasn't here, but I did,
Wrote it down.
yeah. That
I
was,
remember him asking, but
Now, I apologize for not being taken care of, but let's put it on the agenda.
no, that's what I was gonna say,
And we'll take care of
Steve.
it.
Did you fill out an agenda request?
Involved in this.
Yeah.
Frank would
Okay,
probably
so
know about
I,
that.
do you know what? In
That's what
fact, I'm
he's-
gonna get you one right now.
Anyway, I wanted to make sure we get that going, so.
Talk with Mr. Katsky.
I know what you're talking about now, yeah. We'll get it on the next agenda.
Sorry about that. Any other public comment? Okay. We have no other public comment. Adjourn this meeting.
6:39.
When is the next meeting?
August 5th will be the next meeting, Sean.
Yeah, thanks all.
Do you want me to write one, or do you want to write one?
All right, well,
But Thank you.
Look in your stuff to see if you have one. If not,
Okay, I will definitely. Does this come go to you then? Yes, thank you. You're welcome. Congratulations. 6:39.
And Corey on.
All we need is $400,000 or $500,000 more dollars a year, you know?
Thing there, only got just a little bit